Welcome back, everybody, to the Echoes of Sunday podcast. It's been a while for us. This is our first new episode of second semester. We all just got back from our Christmas break, but we are blessed and privileged to be back here again. And once again, as always, I'm joined by my co-host Logan Cook. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Happy to be back. We got all the everything, all the cookies, the Christmas cookies eaten, and well rested from break.
Yeah, how many miles did you have to run to work off those cookies?
I don't do cardio.
He's too cool for that. But we are joined today by our awesome editor and close friend and companion of Echoes of Sunday, and that is Thomas Andreen. How you doing today, Thomas?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back, but it's also a lot colder than when I left.
Yeah, dude. This whole week is like right around zero.
So it's kind of awful.
Yeah. It's great.
I think I saw minus 17 on the docket for Thursday coming up.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's stuff to look forward to when you live in New Orleans.
Every year I ask, like, why do we live here?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The good Christmas break overall, Thomas?
Yeah. I mean, we'll get into some of it later, but I did end up in the hospital. And that, thankfully, nothing too serious. But we'll get into that a little later and what happened there.
Happy New Year, right? That's how you kicked it off?
Yes, Happy New Year.
Yeah,
December 31st, 10:30 p.m.
Only up from there, yeah. But, I mean, before we get into that, we can maybe start with our favorite question on this podcast, the question that we ask all of our guests, and that is, Thomas, would you be willing to share your faith story with us, your walk with God, what that's looked like in your life, what that's looked like in your family's life? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so grown up Christian my whole life, always been in church. My parents are very devout Christians. And I don't know, so I was in public school from preschool all the way up until the third way marker kind of through my 8th grade year. And that was when COVID hit. And my faith was never the strongest. It's always like, I have to go to church on Sundays because my parents are forcing me to.
Yep.
And that's a parent's job. And then I probably had my lowest moment in my faith, probably somewhere around my 6th or 7th grade year. And that's due to the fact I didn't put any work into my faith. And then being in the public school system where they're not teaching it to you, and it's a lot of just like worldly thoughts and ideas. That's where I really struggled with my faith. I mean, thankfully, we moved to my church's school, and I did not grow up well. I'll preface that. So when I was younger, we were at this bigger Baptist church about 15 minutes from my house. We were there for a while because we knew the pastor and we liked it there. Then we moved to a non-denominational, not mega church size, but just about there. So pretty big. And we liked it there as well. At least my parents did. They had a good children's program. So if you're a child, you enjoy it. And then they started getting too mega churchy. My parents described it as as soon as they got the fog machine. That's kind of when they're okay, this is a lot less Jesus-y and a lot more just in your concert style.
Like a show, yeah.
Yeah. And so then my parents had a friend who became a pastor. He's not a Wells pastor, but very strong Lutheran pastor still.
Okay.
And I couldn't tell you what Senate he is preaching for now, but he is this is a good list of Lutheran churches. Let's get back to your Lutheran roots. And that's how I ended up at the church I'm currently at and my parents are currently at. And that is Shepherd of the Hills Lutheran Church. I love my pastor, Pastor Aaron Bame. Huge shout out to him. And that was probably 2018, so about a year, I'd say, before COVID, with the lockdown actually started. And so anyway, getting back to my education, lowest point of my faith in middle school times. And then we moved to my church's school my 8th grade year. And so we're doing school over Zoom. And my sister's really struggling in our math class. And her math teacher says, it's okay as long, like, just do whatever makes you feel beautiful. And my parents heard that and were like, okay, we're going to pull you out of this public school and we're going to send you guys to our church's school. And that's where my faith started to grow a lot more. I was joining their catechism class as long as just their regular classes, learning so much. Like, I always knew, like, the basic facts about the Bible, but then just starting it to grow when I started really enjoying it. Mm-hmm. And that's where my faith grew a lot. And then my parents didn't want to send me away to our area Lutheran high school, which was an hour away. Mm-hmm. So then they sent me to Foothills Christian High School, and Foothills itself was this huge church with a giant middle school, and their high school was pretty big. It was about 240 kids, but their church campus was pretty big, and like they were big in the community. Sure, but what was weird about that was they were only 3 days a week.
That was your high school?
That was a school.
Yeah, and how it was is, so you're on campus Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you have off Monday and Friday, but the teachers are supposed to give you enough work where it counts up for those 2 days of school. It never did. My weekends were always pretty lax with work.
Wow, that sounds like a dream.
You live in Arizona, right?
California.
Oh my goodness, my bad. I don't know my own editor. So you live in California and you went to school for 3 days a week.
Yeah, and that was up until halfway through my sophomore year of school. And my parents were like, this education is awful. Not saying like the education was all right, but 3 days of school, like maybe 3.5, 4, depending on what teacher you had.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we want you in school 5 days a week. And so then they sent me to the area Lutheran high school. And that is where like my faith really started to shine and grow, and just being in that environment.
Can I just say, if people didn't want to move to California before, once they found out that they only had to go to school for 3 days a week in California, bro, whoever listens to this podcast is like packing off their bags tonight and moving to California. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and like with their church body being so big, and I know like we think big out here is like maybe like 2,000. The church out there is probably at least 3 or 4. And that's not even the biggest church out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I imagine, just in California, you're pulling from such a huge population that probably helps just with numbers, I imagine, for churches and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, the biggest church is Shadow Mountain, and they have 10,000 members. They have 3 services on Sunday, a Saturday service. Like, they do stuff throughout the week as well for
Shadow
people
Mountain
who can't make it.
Interesting name for a church.
Sounds like a Disneyland ride.
Yeah, their pastor actually has like a really big social media presence and has like his own like separate ministry thing that he does, like works with the church on that as well. So they're really big.
Wow.
So was it hard to be accountable for the 3 days a week because you had all the homework for the weekend, or was it just you weren't getting as much out of it?
Just not getting as much out of it, because there's like, to a certain degree, you can be self-taught. Like with anything, you can be self-taught. I'm a self-taught editor, and like all the AV work that I do on campus and off campus, I'm 90% self-taught. Mm-hmm. But it's when you're worrying about your education, and especially with high school, and you're like, say if I didn't want to become a teacher and I wanted to become like a lawyer or a doctor, me being self-taught will only get me so far before, like, without extreme dedication to it, which I don't have the dedication to teach myself all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you don't go to school to teach yourself these things anyways. Like, you go to be taught. So if they're expecting you to self-teach, then I feel like that's just like a fundamental issue with the schooling system in general.
Yeah, and they didn't frame it as like teaching yourself,
Yeah,
but the
I'm
like
sure.
just the curriculum that they were giving us, like it was rigorous if you would put us in a 5 day, like in a 5 day school. But I shouldn't say 5 day, like a regular.
Yeah.
But it's just like not enough work on the weekends. It's like, well, playing football, it's like I would barely do homework on Fridays, and then like I might do some Saturday and Sunday depending on if how much I had. But then I'd do most of my homework on Monday, and I'd probably be done by start at 8, be done by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's not like putting my head down and grinding. That's like, okay, like let's get this done, and like I'll take like a 10-minute break, or like eat,
Right.
like have a 45-minute lunch and just do
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
manageable.
Yeah. As someone who did not like going to school growing up, I am envious of the fact that you had 3 days a week. I mean, I know the grass isn't always greener, and I wouldn't probably be the man I am today if it wasn't for the 5 day a week school. But boy, would I have loved an extra couple days to
Yeah.
do whatever the heck I wanted in high school.
Mhm.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having a 4 day weekend every week was nice, and it gave me the ability to do nothing for like 2.5, 3 straight days. And it was amazing, but my parents thought it wasn't the best for me, which is probably true. I'm not
You agree with
the
them?
most
Shout out
I'm not
parents.
yes, shout out my mom and dad. And it doesn't get too like I agree with them just because it's not the best for me. I'm not the most school enthusiast guy you'll ever meet, but I definitely enjoyed the switch to my area Lutheran high school, and that was really nice. I really enjoyed that, and I loved all the teachers there. And I was in the dorms for second semester my sophomore year, and then I was able to live with my friends off campus. So there were 4 guys, then my friend's sister and his parents in the house. So there was all of us just hanging out.
Oh,
That's a blast, dude.
cool.
Yeah.
And you said you transferred there in your sophomore year?
Yeah, so halfway through my sophomore year. And the nice part about that is I was really chill with all my teachers at my old school. So I had 6 classes that semester, and I was like, hey, I'm leaving. But at Foothills, their winter break doesn't start, or this, like, our winter break is, like, when winter break is, but our semester doesn't end until, like, January 6th.
Okay.
So it's it's like 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after Christmas break itself. So, but that wasn't the case at CLHS, my area Lutheran school. And so with that, I only had to take half my finals because like half my teachers said, yeah, it's okay. Like you don't have to make it up or whatever. Cause like I'd have to start my new school when it starts, which is whenever Christmas break ended that year. So I had to get my final grades in for that first semester before I transferred out.
Oh,
So half the teachers were like, no, you worked hard in class and all that stuff, and I didn't have to take 3 of my finals, three out of the 6 of my finals.
There you go.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
W.
That is.
Wow.
Do you think that you would have chosen a future career in ministry if you hadn't switched to the area Lutheran high school?
I don't know. It's one of those things where I was really undecided, really probably until I always said, I think I started saying I initially wanted to be a pastor, and I did a semester and I couldn't do that. We can dive into that later. But I always said, I started saying, yeah, I want to be a pastor. Probably, I'd want to say quarter into my second semester sophomore year. And I've always had a servant's heart. Like, I set up and ran the AV at my church starting just about my freshman year in high school. So, like, I've put in countless hours into that. And for those of you who are more uneducated in the AV sector, it's a lot of work I've spent way too many weekends and hours doing that, and my parents aren't always the happiest with me, but they understand it's stuff that needs to get done, and I was one of the only people at the time who were able to do it. So, but I always said that I wanted to be a pastor probably like halfway through my second semester sophomore year, but I'm a very tech orientated guy, so I always had my mind open to WLC and like doing like a computer science class or something of the sort that was more tech related. And I even took our AP computer science principles class that we had on campus, but that was after I think I didn't truly decide until it would be probably either halfway through my junior year or second semester my junior year of high school, where that's what I really put my mind to and like, yes, this is something I want to do.
Okay.
That's
So I don't know where you were in your story, but you can keep going.
Yeah. So transferring up there was probably the best thing. I love all the teachers. One of my favorite people up there is probably our campus pastor, Andrew Schrader. And he's been there for I don't know how long, a long time. But he's one of the coolest guys you'll probably ever meet. He was our head football coach, and his brother was. We had a church on campus. We let a church use our chapel that we had. So they had a church there, and his brother was the pastor of that church, and his brother was our O-line coach. So,
That's sick. Yeah.
so I got to know their family really well, and I love them. I love all the teachers. I could go on for hours talking about how all the teachers up there are cool. But the one thing, and we can talk more about this later because I don't want to dive in too deep on multiple different things starting off, but we always got younger teachers. We always got fresh teachers, fresh from MLC. And we had a couple that would stay. Like our science teacher has been there. This is his 5th year there now. And he enjoys it, and we all love him there. But we've gone through, I don't even know. And I don't know what's the word? Like how common that is out here. But it's like last year we got 3 teachers from MLC, and we lost 2 of them.
In 1 year?
Like they got called elsewhere at the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we got 3 new teachers, and 2 of them didn't want to stay. Which I don't think is abnormal, and they not to say that they didn't fit in, but like one of them was more understandable. She was engaged and was getting married, and her now husband is a pastor in Texas, so that one makes more sense. But and what is it? We're losing our superintendent. Just got a call and accepted that call, so he's going to be coming out to Milwaukee as a principal assistant. So we're losing our superintendent, and then two of our other teachers also said that they're gonna leave as well. So it's kind of hard because, at least in my opinion, a lot of the people in the Midwest who have really just stayed in the Midwest don't necessarily understand the ministry and our needs out on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on the West Coast too. I kind of know how that's like. I think when a lot of people are raised in the Midwest, getting calls and getting jobs out in like the West Coast in a completely different atmosphere than where they grew up in, that's kind of a hard sell for a lot of people because they just don't know people out there. It's a totally different culture and climate. So it is hard to get people to stay in, they call them saltwater districts and saltwater calls and jobs because they're just closer to the oceans and farther away from the Midwest farm fields, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle and a difficulty to keep teachers in those types of places sometimes just because of the differences, I think, between Midwest and out there.
So you think they want to leave because it's not what they're used to, or?
Yeah, so at least like from me talking with people, like other people who've lived out on the West Coast for a long time, and like just what I've seen from teachers is they like what they're used to. All their families out here, especially if they grew up like in the Midwest, like in Milwaukee, Minnesota area or Wisconsin, Minnesota area, like everyone they know is out here, and it's different. I don't want to say different in like a bad way, but the amount of manpower and hours you put in out on the West Coast is a lot more than you put in out here. Like from what I've seen.
And like, I don't think that any one of us here is trying to, but just to clarify, like, we don't want to put words into anybody's mouth. If you've been like a teacher that's worked out in the West Coast and then you ended up taking a job back in the Midwest, it's not an indictment of you. We're not saying that you did that for just because it's difficult to live out there. Like, that's not what we're trying to say, but it is definitely a pattern that you see, and it is definitely other factors to consider when you're looking at jobs out there. It's just you are being put in a place that is so drastically different than anything you've experienced before. Like, naturally, what comes with that is going to be very difficult to maneuver, and it's going to be hard on yourself, hard on your family, and then in addition to that, probably hard on your ministry. So that's understandable, I think.
Do you feel like they lack support for those kind of people? Or
I don't know if like all of our West Coast ministry is very tight knit for the most part. I mean, the big difference is like we have churches throughout all of California, but you see a big divide between north of LA and south of LA. So like south of LA, it's like all of the pastors know each other and they're all great friends, and like if you went to like a grade school, I'd say, and like your parents are involved and you've been involved in stuff, we probably all know each other, and like I've amazing friends who I met through California Lutheran, and like they live up in LA and stuff. It's not necessarily that they lack support. It's more of, and I'll bring up a point that Dean Clemens brought up in his urban ministry presentation I sat in today, actually. Or was it yesterday? All the days are blending together for me. It's been a long couple of days. But he said the main reason why people want to stay in like smaller Lutheran schools, at least new teachers, is because that's what they're used to. Mm-hmm. He said that they were scared of leaving and like going to a big city. And he brought that, and I think that's partially true. I don't know to what degree for everyone, but he said a big part of that is just the exposure. Is if you grew up as like a pastor's kid and that pastor's been at the same church for, let's say you were born there and he was there for 15 years and then gets another call to a smaller Midwest town, it's like you've never really been to the city. You've just stayed out in the rural area and don't know how to navigate a city. To like, even, I don't know how big Milwaukee is, but like San Diego's 3 million people, 3.5 million people. So it's like growing up in that environment is a lot different than being fresh out of college with, I don't want to say no one to support you, but like your family's not there. It's like when times are hard, you want to fall back on your family. And when you're new, like, yes, you have your faculty and staff to help support you and like your pastors out there to support you, but it's not the same feeling as like your mom or your dad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
I think growing up out in the West Coast, my dad is a pastor, my mom's a teacher. Like, ministry was always very prevalent in my life. Something that's so underrated and something that you would never be able to know about the West Coast unless you actually were out there serving as a pastor, teacher, staff minister, is the people that you serve out in the West Coast and in those saltwater districts. They love and appreciate their called workers so much because they recognize that it's a difficult place to work in. They aren't surrounded by family. They aren't surrounded by friends. It's a completely foreign place for most people that end up getting jobs out there. And in those situations, like you said, when you don't have your friends and family to fall back on, who are you going to fall back on? It's going to be the people that you're serving. And they end up serving you a lot of times because they'll invite you into their home. They'll go above and beyond to try and show you how much they appreciate them. And I think for me, that above all else in my experience in the West Coast has always stood out to me the most, I think. And I don't know if that was similar to your experience growing up, but I definitely noticed that in Washington where I grew up.
Yeah, and like we got a grade school teacher, Grace Sievert, and her dad's out on the West Coast now, but she was assigned to my Lutheran grade school, and she's been out there 3 years now, and she's loving it. I mean, like my church, I always like the church family at my church is phenomenal. I mean, we only have about 100 members that are like confirmed members of our church, and we average 100, but so not all, like we have guests all the time and stuff like that, and we're trying to grow right now, but she's fitting really nice, and like she's a part of my parents' Bible study now that my dad hosts every week, and she's a blast to be around. I love hanging out with her and like just around and at Bible study.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
You said you average about 100, and you have 100 members.
Yeah, so we're over like some services will be smaller because like not all of our members have family out here, and like not all of our members are from the Midwest, but like they like to travel and stuff like that. So our numbers will flow, but we like throughout a year we'll average about 100 at church service, but not all 100 members are there all the time. So it's like we have people who are working on being confirmed and becoming members, or like just it's a lot of times like guests or like family of members that'll come for like baptisms, or like they just enjoy our pastor. Not to make my pastor's ego too big, but our pastor is really good.
That's an important thing. I just asked because I know that in a lot of Midwest churches, I've heard that the member count is up here, and Sunday attendance is like maybe half that. And so to hear like it's almost the same. I know it's not all the members are there all the time, but that's a really good sign, I think, for your future of your church.
Yeah, and that's something in recent years we've put a lot of work into is I forget exactly what the Wells mission name is. Like there's like a program that helps with like growing your church, and we had them come out just after I leave, actually. After I left for first semester college, which I found kind of sad because I wanted to like be a part of that and learn. But just ideas from them, and our pastor's a really outgoing guy, so he loves bringing in new people. He'll talk to you for forever, and not to make my pastor's ego too big, but he's a pretty good pastor.
Well, yeah, what a plug, man. Everybody's gonna want
What's
to
the
go
pastor's
to
name?
California.
Aaron Bame.
Shout out Pastor Bame.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dude.
Keep doing good work out there.
It really is kind of cool to. I forget that you're a West Coast guy, Thomas. I take that for granted. There's not a whole lot of us out here in the cold Midwest where we all go to school. So it's nice to be surrounded by a fellow West Coast brother.
Yes,
yeah,
the cold is a change, and I mean
It's a change.
it's a change. And
growing up in
terrible.
California, yeah, I bet it's a change, dude.
well, my grandpa lived 6 hours north of the cities. I don't know if any of you guys know where Bemidji is, but he lived an
Yes,
hour
sir.
north of there. So he was like, he could spit and hit Canada. So I've been up there in a couple of Januaries and Februaries, but that was probably maybe 7 or 8 years ago now.
That's brutal.
Yeah, I think when I went up there, for one, like about a week straight, it didn't go above negative 36 degrees.
Didn't go above
Negative 36. Yeah, so it was really fun, actually. I don't remember this, but my mom would tell me stories. It's like, yeah, we'd boil a pot of water, we'd go outside and throw it, and it'd be frozen before it hit the ground.
Yeah. You did that when I was a kid. Like you boil the water and then you throw it out and it turns into snow. And
Yeah,
that's
it
like
turns
the
into
coolest
snow
thing.
before it hits the ground. Like, that's how cold it gets up there.
This
And
is how Midwest kids have to entertain themselves: is playing with boiling water in the.
But then you have to go straight back inside because
Oh.
any exposed skin is gonna freeze.
yeah, you'd die in like 5 minutes out there. It's really bad.
The things you hear on the Echoes of Sunday podcast.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No.
I do not I do not take for granted the weather anymore. Being in New Ulm, Minnesota, of all places now for 3 years, oh man, dude, I miss the 70 degrees and sunny Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
going back home over Christmas break was phenomenal. I loved it. I only put on a jacket, I think, twice because I was cold. And that was just because we do our Bible study outside. It's like you're sitting stagnant long enough. It's like you're just going to be cold from not moving. So, like, that was the only time I ever put on a jacket. But other than, like, I'd wear a jacket just because it's comfortable, but not because I was cold. I think the coldest it got was maybe 45 degrees, and that was because it was raining.
How cold?
God,
So 45 degrees is it?
Yeah, like, I don't know if I've ever seen, like, during the day, as low as it'll get is probably 45. I doubt
you guys
that even.
ever get snow?
Not in the mountains. So, like, in the city, you'll never get snow. But, like,
Crazy.
Big Bear Mountain is a 3-hour drive. So, like, and they get a lot of snow.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense. Yeah.
so, like, you have access to snow. It's just a little bit of a drive unless you live up there. But that was one of the things, like, I'd always talk to my dad about it. It's like, yeah, California is the only place where you can go snowboarding and surfing in the same day.
That's so wild to think about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, but the coldest it ever gets during the day, I don't know if it's ever dropped below 50 during the day. I mean, at night it'll get down to like maybe 30, maybe high 20s. But that's on like the coldest of nights.
I love that it is, the middle of January, middle of December when you were out there, and people are doing outdoor Bible study in California.
Oh, yeah, it's
That's-
beautiful
that's
outside.
crazy.
It's beautiful outside year round. It's amazing.
Dude, can you imagine doing an outdoor Bible study in Minnesota right now?
You'd freeze in 5 minutes,
Come
Cody.
join Bible study and die.
Yeah.
It'd be awful, especially today. I don't know. It feels like today's been like
Come and learn
negative
more
20.
about
It's
Christ.
been awful.
Come and learn more about Christ, and if you're lucky enough, you might just get to meet him. You know?
That's a heck of a pitch.
That's crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
No man.
That's something like a cult would do out in California. We have some cults. I'm not too familiar with all of them, but like there's one that my dad's friend pointed out to me. He lives up in Ramona, so he is like 45 minutes away from my house, but it's up in not the mountains, but like more of the hills area. So it takes a bit to get there, and like we drive by on the highway to get there. And he's like, yeah, up there's a cult. Like up on top of a hill, there's like a church-looking building that's a cult, and it's like.
Cool.
I love that I just went from talking about the weather to cults in one sentence, dude.
Well, because that's something like a cult, like a tri-B Christian cult would pitch. It's like, guys, like we have to do this Bible study right now in the freezing cold. It's like only the preachers in like 5 jackets and 3 pants trying not to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
God wants
Man.
us to do this.
I will say, I think everybody listening right now is going to be like craving some California sunshine after they hear this podcast.
Oh, there's always a couple things when I've gone back now twice to California, and it's In-N-Out. I love In-N-Out.
Oh my goodness. Can we get into the In-N-Out discussion right now?
Oh,
Dude.
it's better than Culver's. I'm
It-
sorry.
dude,
I think it's so made.
Do you really?
I had it
No.
one
This
time.
is
I had it.
so
I had it once in Arizona, and everybody's hyping it up. The pastor that I was
Arizona's
chat-
awful though. Arizona's way too hot. Even like right now, it's like 70 degrees. I mean, to us sounds good, but in the summer it gets to be like 120.
Does it impact the In-N-Out quality?
Oh, it probably does. I've
Oh,
never
okay.
had a bad.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never had a bad Cali In-N-Out burger. I will say, like, to get on the In-N-Out discussion, I love In-N-Out, and I do love Culver's, but In-N-Out will just always be better.
Dude, put this into context. In the 3 years that Logan and I have known each other, I can maybe count on like 1 or 2 hands the number of things that Logan and I have like actually disagreed about. Like for the most part, we are very much like in lockstep with how we think and approach life. The In-N-Out like good versus trash discussion is like the thing that has like arguably pushed our friendship to the limit the most.
I just don't understand. I was taken to In-N-Out. All the hype is built up. Literally the only thing on their menu is the burger. So I'm like, this better be good.
Did you get it animal style, or just regular?
I don't know.
You have to
I
get
got
it
the
animal
burger,
style.
and
You
I
have
took
to
a
get it
bite, and I
animal
was
style.
like, this is the
This-
same as McDonald's. I could get a quarter pounder that
No,
tastes
it is
better than this.
not, dude.
And the
McDonald's
fries
is
were
all
not.
fake crap. I don't want.
Yeah, it might be fake crap, but it tastes about the same.
Wow. And
I'm sorry, dude.
no, but
It doesn't.
Not really though. Culver's will always beat In-N-Out.
We just lost all of our listeners.
if
Not if they're from the Midwest.
I will say to try and get back on topic, but one last thing here is I love In-N-Out and I love Culver's, and I will always love In-N-Out more because they are better. But In-N-Out is a Christian-run company.
There you
Fun
go.
fact, they
Whatever,
are
dude.
Christian.
You heard it here first.
They're Christian?
If you
Yeah, they are.
if you don't like In-N-Out, then you
They
don't
might
like
be
God.
Christian, but they don't know how to make a burger.
Oh my goodness.
My only thing with In-N-Out though is their lines are way too long. Like if you I'll go at 4:30 to pick up dinner for my family, and I'll wait in line for half an hour. That's the only part I don't like.
Do you think their fries are good?
It depends. They're
They're like super thin, right?
No, they're not. They're like average. I mean, maybe a little thinner than McDonald's, but their fries are hit or miss. My dad gets the fries well done. The well done fries are pretty good if you like more crispy fries.
I think In-N-Out's milkshakes are also very good too.
Their milkshakes are good. There is better.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put In-N-Out's milkshakes in like the upper echelon of fast food milkshakes, but it's solid.
I've been
Yeah.
one time. I will try it again in California or somewhere else besides Arizona.
We are gonna
But
make.
I'm not going to be holding my breath.
We are going to make an In-N-Out believer out of Logan before we graduate college.
Eventually.
But yeah. Anyways.
Thomas, get us back on track.
Yeah,
Alrighty. Back to story. So teachers at California Lutheran love them. Not to get off track again, but we did just expand. We just did expand K to 8. So if anyone is in the Wildomar or Temecula area listening to this, we have a grade school now, and it's amazing.
There you go.
But
Plug.
excellent plug. So that being there, was the most influential on me besides switching to the grade school in 8th grade. And then going to MLC it's just even more encouraged my faith and grow in my faith. And I know so much more doctrine now. I'm not the most, I don't read all that often. I really don't like books.
That's fine.
I will say something about my schooling is, so my friend at Foothills, was like a genius essentially. He was 16 when he graduated high school, so that's already pretty impressive. But he was already 2 years into college. He did college courses on top of his high school courses, so he was halfway done with college by the time he graduated high school at 16.
Bro, I don't know how those people do it.
I don't know either. I'm
I
so
wish my brain
stupid.
worked like that. Yeah.
I don't know. I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room ever, but I don't know. Sometimes people say I'm the smartest. I'm like, I don't know.
You don't got to be. That's the thing. You
No.
don't have to be the smartest guy in the room.
No.
I've seen you willing to work hard, and
Yeah.
that's more than half the battle, I think.
But to finally finish out my faith story and my growth is, so my first semester freshman year, so 2 months ago essentially, it comes to midterm, and my grades for the rest of my classes are pretty good except Greek.
Yeah.
And I know you don't have to be a Greek scholar to be a pastor, but I was taking Professor Paushin had this brand new class this year, and it was
Art of public speaking.
Yeah, art of public speaking
of
for
that.
pastors. And don't get me wrong, it was a great class, and it was kind of you have to go with the flow of it, kind of, because he it's all brand new curriculum that he's making as we go. But I didn't I enjoyed it, but I don't know if to the extent of being actually being a pastor.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it comes to midterm, and my Greek grade is struggling, and so I withdraw from Greek at midterm just because it'll free up my schedule, and then I can really focus on the rest of my classes. And so then I switched to a double major, so I'm a social studies secondary and elementary education.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at now with that. And I mean, my faith is still growing from here, and it'll probably always grow until the day I die, but that's kind of where I am now.
Was that a pretty big blow for you when you realized you had to do that?
Yeah.
Or that was the direction that you were going to take? Or did you kind of just roll with the punches?
My parents always said I have a servant heart, which I believe. I don't know. I will
we see
say
it firsthand all the time. Yeah.
Praise God.
And one of the major things that's not to say wrong about me, but something I need to work on heavily is how I look at myself. I'm a very I say down to earth, and like I really am, and like I love logic. Like I'll use logic to solve a lot of things and all that stuff. But I'm very like down about myself. Not always, but like it's like, okay, I know I can't do this, and like I always think less of myself than I probably actually am. And I know everyone has it to a degree, but I get in swings where it's really bad sometimes.
Yeah.
And so did that happen when you realized you had to switch?
No, not really. And
Okay.
no, being in the ministry is something like I've always looked forward to. Like ever since I've like, yes, I actually want to become a pastor. Like I've always enjoyed working in the ministry. So being a teacher, and it allows me to do some more stuff that I enjoy doing, like technology based stuff that you can't always get to do as a pastor as well. So that it kind of opened up that door more for me. But really, like at the time, I was like, okay, I don't want to become a pastor. I was almost about to drop out, like at semester, because it's like I'm big into AV stuff. Even now, working at school doing it, and I'm like, I could just drop out and work that because like I don't want to say you don't need a high school education for it, but essentially, as long as you know what you're doing, you'll get hired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about doing that, and my parents did not like that idea. They wanted me to have some sort of college education, which not to diss college education, but you don't need it for everything.
Yeah.
So like a story I'll tell is my dad's friend and my friend, Joe Carter, works for I won't say the name, but an electrical company in San Diego. And he doesn't have a college education, and he makes, I mean, I assume he makes over six figures. He's a supervisor now at it, and he didn't have a college education, and all of his people under, like he calls them his coworkers, and like they're a tight knit group. I hung out with them the other day, and it's a good job, but the idea that you need a college education to get somewhere is not true. There's plenty of jobs where if you're willing to put in the work and the time and the effort for it, like you'll make more. You could even make more money than an educated person with like a doctor. Like not saying doctor specifically, but like if you get a doctorate in something, you could easily like make more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think people are starting to realize that like college degrees used to be like the end all be all, and then maybe it was before COVID, but I think COVID really forced people to see that, you know, you can survive without having a college degree. You can learn things on the job or learn things from the internet, and you'd be just fine. You would be just fine.
The other thing too is just like financially. I mean, if you are going to college for any major public university, even private university like MLC, WLC, any like Christian college,
I will
think
say
that's a
WLC
big
is
financial investment.
Yeah, and I will say WLC is like double the price of MLC.
100%.
It's way more expensive.
Not even in the same stratosphere.
I mean, I'm thankful because my parents are well off enough, and I'm like they're paying for my college, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. Well, I just know, like, I'm just saying, for a lot of people, like, if they don't know what they want to do, going to college to try and figure it out,
It's
I
a
feel
waste
like,
of money.
yeah, it is, dude. Like, I'm not going to say you're wasting your time, but, like, there's just other ways that you can spend that time without having to allocate however many dollar signs it would take to do that. So
Yeah, you can go to a junior college and figure out what you want. Like if college is something you need for what you want to do, and like you go to junior college, you can figure it out for on the cheap, like $3K a semester, not even probably. Yeah.
Super cheap.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I have a friend actually who's in community college right now. He tore his knee senior year of high school during football season. Actually, it was real tragic. But so he tore his knee, and he was gonna go to WLC, and he's like, with my torn knee, I just want to recover in San Diego, which is completely fair. So he's a semester into junior college, and he wanted to do something with finance, but now he's wanting to do something more with physical therapy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Very cool. So you've had one semester here at MLC, and is this your first kind of was last semester your first time being away from your parents? I know. Well, no, you said you lived in the dorms. I'm sorry, and with another family in their house, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's different being 1,600 miles away from home. It's like
Yeah,
I was only
for
an
sure.
hour drive, so like, and I was great friends, and like I would consider them like another set of parents to me, my friends' parents. And so, like, it's different because, like, I'd just go home on the weekends. It's an hour drive. And, like,
Okay.
when I got my license, I wouldn't go home all the time with just on the weekends mainly because gas is expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was about $4, but at the peak when it was really bad, it cost me $130 to fill up my truck.
No way, dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, even when I was
Oh,
home,
my
my
goodness.
in all fairness, my truck was running on fumes. But, like, I paid $100 to fill up my tank when I was home.
Dang.
130.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude.
And that's at Costco, so it's even a little cheaper than normal.
Hmm.
I'm gonna count my blessings. I mean, I think filling up for gas even now is expensive, but like, I'll take my
Yeah.
$40 fill up for my 2010 Ford Escape over 130.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
In
at least like
California.
$65, $70 right now in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, I know. That's nuts,
That's
man.
wild.
Wow.
Yeah. I love California. I don't agree with a lot of the policies out there or a lot of the politics, but the weather's nice. The only thing good, and like San Diego is even left leaning now more than it was a couple years ago, but it hasn't gotten too bad yet, thankfully. But it's like San Diego is probably honestly the best part of California you'll find. Like all the beaches are pretty cool, but like you go up to San Francisco, there's poop on the streets. It's like their homeless policies up there are awful. Same with LA. I go to Dodger game with my grandparents because they love the Dodgers. And like you drive on the freeway in downtown and you just see them over like under the overpasses, and it's like people want to go visit LA, and I think that's okay. But I'm from California, but like I would never want to go to LA and like walk in LA, especially downtown area. It's nasty.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's just the thing. There's never a perfect state to live in, but
Texas or Tennessee is the
I
perfect state to live in.
I
you
was
been
gonna
there?
say, dude, there's definitely preferences, I think.
I went to Nashville over my last spring break as like my quote unquote senior trip, and that I love Nashville. Nashville was fun. I mean, all the big cities are going to be more left leaning than anything else, but it's just like everyone's so chill out there, and like their strip way on Broadway is what it's called. It's just a bunch of bars and restaurants with live country music playing. It's awesome. I loved it.
Big country music guy.
Yeah, I love country music. Yeah.
Man, Logan is just
We
outvoted
are-
again. Two West Coast guys,
At
two
odds.
In-N-Out guys, and two country guys versus
I
whatever
will
Logan is.
proudly stay in my corner.
No, I mean it helps. Like my parents are both big conservative people, and I should say this. I feel like I should give my family some background. So I have one brother who's in 7th grade. My sister is a sophomore at our area Lutheran high school. My dad is in law enforcement. I won't say where, for personal reasons. And then my mom stays at home.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest.
Yes, I am the oldest. So I'm their experimental child for a lot
Yeah.
of things. It's like, oh, we'll send you out to the Midwest, see how you do. And it's like, oh yeah, I love it here.
Oh man, dude, I love being the youngest. Being the youngest is so lit.
You-
I don't have
you guys
any
get
other
all-
responsibilities
yeah,
you
it-
guys do.
It's awful. It's really bad. Like
Really? You think so?
being the old, not always. It's like, well, I'm the first to drive, and
Then you have to drive your younger siblings around, though.
oh,
don't you?
not when you're away from
I
home.
guess
when
that's
you're an
true.
hour away 5 days a week, or now I'm in college, so I don't even bother with it. I
Yeah.
barely drive now. I don't have a car out here, but I should say my truck is a '94 GMC C1500 Sierra.
94.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my truck is so broke. It has a lot of rust on it, but it also has it has no air conditioning. Manual.
That's rough
Good
in
thing.
California.
Yeah, I was gonna say good thing you don't need that for California.
In the summer, it'll get up to triple digits sometimes.
Yep.
Not to say that the
long as the
weather.
windows
Like
work.
stall out on the side of the road, man. That's crazy.
No, and recently the heater, not the heater itself doesn't work, but the fans don't work. And then I don't have a working radio, so I actually got a speaker for my birthday. I got a JBL Flip 6. It's like $100 speaker. It's really nice. And that's what I use as my music, just because I have no working radio. Like my truck is old. But what was nice about it is we got it for free. We had to do some work on it to get it up to smog check. But it was only like we got it with 98,000 miles on it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
That's
I mean,
phenomenal.
the truck will die here in a couple of years just because of age. Like the engine itself is pretty good. It only has 129 on it.
Is the truck here in Minnesota?
Oh no!
Okay.
The truck wouldn't survive the winter. It's out home. It wouldn't survive. I don't know. It might survive the drive out here, but I don't know if it would last the winter.
That's fair.
I'd have to like turn the car on every day.
You would not survive because you need the heat.
Yeah, I mean like it'll passively blow heat if I turn the heat up, but it like the fans. I'd have to fix that if I brought it out here, but I never will.
My first car that I got before heading to college was a 1989 Honda Accord in Tacoma, Washington. And I remember my senior year, all my teachers, all my friends are asking me if I was going to take that Honda Accord. I'd named her Shirley after my grandma. And if I was going to take Shirley with me to Minnesota. And I said, I don't even know if she would make it out of the state. I mean, honestly.
1989. That's
And if
crazy.
by some cosmic miracle she made it all the way out to Minnesota, she is dead within the first 3 weeks. 100%.
Yeah.
There's just no chance. So, yeah. I love old cars, but that's not very conducive for Midwest winters, I don't think.
Yeah.
Another hard thing about being the oldest, I think, like, everything is new for you and your parents. But it's also, when you leave, that's the first time they've had a kid leave. And it's really hard, I think, for the parents just to let go and allow your kid to just be an adult and do his own thing. And I have a whole lot of respect for parents that I know it's hard to do that. But as an oldest as well, it's like you kind of got to navigate that and be considerate of their feelings.
Yeah, and I think they got a really good start on it when I was going to the area Lutheran high school. So they already had the feel for me being gone 5 days out of the week. Sometimes weeks at a time, just depending. Like I was in choir and bells, and I actually ended up in a drama production. I wasn't supposed to, but I was student directing. We had one of our main actor left. So I needed to fill in for that. So I got to be the main actor on one of our plays.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He just left?
What character were you?
It wasn't anything you knew. It happened on Route 66, and it took place in McDonald's was just starting. There's a McDonald's joke in there. That's the only reason I know that. But it was this Broadway star runs away from her fiance because some magazine company puts out some like propaganda about her fiance, and so she's on the run, but her car breaks down right outside this diner. So and then she disguises herself as a worker because she's like a Margot Robbie or like a Scarlett Johansson of her day, kind of. It's like you know them.
Yeah.
Very well known anywhere. So she disguised herself as a worker, and I was the head chef / owner of the restaurant named Cookie.
Wow. I want to go see it. You sold me.
No. I mean, it was good. I mean, our drama performances we're not to dig too deep into this because I feel like we've been off topic all night.
I don't know. Yeah, I was just thinking. I actually don't know where we went off topic, how we got here, but
It's okay.
Something along the lines of In-N-Out being better and San Diego being one of the best cities, the best city in California, and how Tennessee and Texas are the best
This is
states
the
in the
Echoes of
union.
Sunday of hot takes, I guess. No, I will say though, something to kind of bring it back a little bit maybe is you talked about how you were considering dropping out like midterm last semester from school. How close would you say were you to doing that? And then what ultimately led you to decide to stay?
Yeah, so I knew I wasn't going to drop out until the end of the semester because my parents had already paid for the whole semester.
Yeah.
And that just gives me like more planning time to like pack up and head home essentially, which is hard because like we flew out here and then we bought just like everything but clothes essentially out here.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh, then we actually have to drive out here and pick up all my stuff in the middle of winter when it's freezing, of course, and then drive home. But I was pretty set on it, and like my dad like was throwing down some terms if I was gonna come home. He's like, yeah, like if you're coming home, like you're doing this, and like essentially paying rent. And for those of you who don't like paying rent and even more than that, and it's like if you don't know, like I worked at a low income housing apartment complex, and like it was real bad. It was like it was a family friend that I worked for, and I appreciate the job, but the building wasn't the best, and that was $590 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
And I think prices have gone up since then. That was for like
That's the low income housing.
yeah, and that was it'd be maybe a little bigger than our Concord dorm rooms, but not much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's shared bathrooms and showers as well.
Oh yeah.
Would you do that with your kids if they were gonna come home, make them pay rent?
I think it would depend on the situation. Like if if they're just wanting to take a break, then probably no. I'd be like, no, you need to get a job. Like if you like my theology right now is if you're not getting an education in college, you're working.
Your philosophy.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, my jeez,
My doctrine.
Yes, my doctrine. No, yeah, no, that's my philosophy, and I think that because if you're just,
I'm sorry,
like,
that might be one of my favorite lines from the entire Echoes of Sunday podcast so far, man.
Got me
Yeah.
off guard for sure.
I'm sorry, it's been a long day, and
Yeah, you're good, man.
I'm not the best with words. English is one of my worst subjects.
No,
You're
you're
good, dude.
totally fine, man. That was amazing.
No, so my philosophy
There you go.
is like either like you're home for the summer, like breaks or whatever, and that's fine. And like you're at college getting an education, or even like if they're living at home but like going to college nearby, I think that's fine. But you have to work on bettering yourself, whether it be like a job or like getting a college education.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's kind of what I want to do with my kids. I don't know if my future wife will agree with me on all that stuff.
Things to work out.
Yeah, but it's like you have to better yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
essentially. And I will say because I was really convinced like dropping out and like doing AV business, not my own because I'm broke, so I don't have any money to start up a company or get any gear.
Mm-hmm.
But like the process, like I looked into to like starting out, it's kind of spotty with work almost. Like you get paid, I think minimum is like $25 an hour, which I know out here sounds like a lot of money, but like minimum wage for flipping burgers at the In-N-Out, which is better than Culver's, is $20 an hour minimum.
Subtle. $20 an hour minimum.
Yeah, that's state mandated.
I mean, in
That's
Washington
crazy.
State, it was like 18 by the time I was like graduating high school and stuff. So it doesn't
That's wild.
surprise me.
Yeah, having a governor who thinks just raising the baseline minimum, like raising minimum wage, will better the economy is dumb. For multiple, and we won't get too
boy.
into it because this isn't supposed to be political. But if all the workers who pay grunt works like breaking down cardboard boxes and stuff like that has to get paid, I think not fast food is 17.5, 18 now. Like if they have to pay all their employees a little bit more because the state says that, then everything else has to go up to account for that loss of money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, the problem isn't raising minimum like the problem isn't that you should raise minimum wage. That's not the solution. It's people actually need to get down and do the work.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But that's a topic for another time.
Not on the Echoes of Sunday podcast.
No.
Maybe not.
No, not on the Echoes
okay.
of Sunday podcast.
No,
And
it's fine.
to get back on track, we can talk more about my life. And I think I've had some, especially now, I've had a lot of different experiences with family that I think is really interesting.
Can we, one last thing on that. Can you talk about what made you want to stay on campus, though?
Oh, yeah. So I completely dodged that question on accident.
We're
No,
good.
you're good.
We're
Dude.
But it was my dad. So my dad came out. I don't know if you probably saw him. He looks exactly like me.
I probably did, yeah.
He looks like me, but a little scarier and with some facial hair.
Well, Thomas, you're a very intimidating guy, so.
Oh, thank you. That's what happens when you play football and you're on the O line. No. What's funny is all my dad's friends are like these big buff dudes that are quote unquote intimidating, and it's for a lot of people they would be intimidating. But for me it's that's just the environment I grew up in. So I see these big men, and I'm like, eh.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool that they're ripped and whatever, but it's yeah, I know guys like you, and I meet them on the regular.
Yeah. And then
That's funny.
you work with a couple short college guys like us, and yeah.
Yeah, no.
A different atmosphere.
No one can know that from listening to this.
They're gonna find out, Logan, okay?
No, I love my short
the
kings.
secret's tearing me apart.
I love my short people, my short friends. But
What made you stay on MLC?
my dad. So he came out for the week, for weekdays because he was working weekends at the time. So he came out during the week and just sat down, talked through everything, and talking with my advisor and all that stuff. And we're okay, this is what I'm wanting to do, and just talk through it and stuff like that.
And you feel pretty resolute that this is the right decision and that you're happy to be here?
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out more with EFE, and not to be blunt, but the main reason I chose elementary education is just to give me a wider variety. So then it's there's the amount of high schools compared to grade schools in the Wells is vast. There's a big difference. So it's not every, if all the social studies positions are filled, well, then I'm out of a job. But if I'm also elementary education, then there's a lot more openings there for me as well.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the main reason I chose elementary education, and my girlfriend, hoping to be soon fiance, letting
There you go, dude.
that's more down the line now that I'm a 5-year major, because my parents, not to diss on anything my parents have said, but they said if I get married in college, I have to pay for my own tuition, which I know for some people isn't the end of the world, but if I were to be married my last year of college, that's $20,000 that I have to pay.
That's a
So
lot.
I'd rather just wait the year and have to not do that.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a long time to wait.
You should propose to your girlfriend on Echoes of Sunday.
No, I'm okay. She wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I would.
She'd probably say no if it
I
was
would
on the
feel
podcast.
terrible.
No, that's awesome, man. You kind of talked about it a little bit, but do you want to get into just some family stuff and that whole?
Yeah,
side
so we'll talk. We'll kind of go in order of the events. So the first big family event that at least I remember is my brother. So my brother is adopted.
Okay.
So my parents were wanting more children, or not necessarily more children, but to help out and whatnot. I don't know their exact reasoning, but so we start fostering. This is our first foster placement, actually. So it's the fostering process is you get placed with a child that the company you go with thinks is a good fit, and then you might have them for a while and it might not be a good fit. So then. Not to say get rid of them necessarily, but or the people will find a better placement, or their parents will get better. So it's these children's parents are drug addicts, which is usually the worst end, or alcoholics, bad parents in general.
Yeah.
So with my brother, his mom did well, I don't even know what drugs, but like drugs while he was like after he was conceived and stuff like that. So he's special needs. He has, not to get too deep into what he has, and that can be a later conversation. Is so he is what's called Dupe 15, which is on the rarer side, and that's just his 15th chromosome is duplicated.
Okay.
So it gives him learning disabilities. And one thing I will say is when we got him, we were told like he was a good kid, and like we were told a bunch of lies almost. It was like he was a very picky eater, like he's potty trained, he is like he can speak and like do stuff. And when we got him, he wasn't a picky eater at all. I think he's even less picky than me, which is kind of weird because I'm not that picky of an eater. Like, I also eat stuff, but it's like I would like my example is red sauce. I'm not a big red sauce guy on like pizza or spaghetti or anything.
That is
But-
picky. Yeah.
But that's like my only thing. And like I'll still eat it though. It's not like I won't eat it. Like if like my girlfriend's parents made lasagna for dinner, I'll eat the lasagna, and like I'll still enjoy it. I just prefer stuff without it. But he's less picky than I am. But so he wasn't picky at all. He wasn't potty trained, and like the only word he could say was no when we got him.
How old was he when?
He was kindergarten age.
Okay.
So we got him. I feel like "got him" is a bad word, but like we got him.
He came to you.
He came to us at the
Joined our family.
Joined our family at the end of my 4th grade year, or like towards the end of my 4th grade year, and he would have these massive temper tantrums, and like he would be violent against my mom and stuff like that. And these tantrums would be when we were at school. I was talking with my mom about this because not to say that I'd get in major trouble, but I don't want to put stuff out there that I shouldn't put out. But like when we were at school and like my dad was working, it'd be like 8-hour tantrums that he would throw. And like on the weekends, like I remember them being as long as 3.5, 4 hours. Where it's like, it's weird when you're fostering a child because like you don't have, not to say, I feel like ownership is a really bad term, but like
Custody.
Like you have like guardianship but not custody over them. Man, I'm really bad with words.
You're good, dude.
But we don't have custody of him, so like we can't really not touch him necessarily. Like we can still give him hugs, like if he consents to it all. But it's like me and my brother wrestle, and like now, like I lock him down, like we'll wrestle, and I'm way bigger than he is. He's like maybe a third of my size. He's really tiny. Like he's strong for his age and has amazing upper body strength, but I'll lock him down. We couldn't do that when we were fostering him. We'd get in trouble with the agency.
Oh, okay.
Like any marks that he had, you had to write paperwork for. Like all that stuff. It's a very fine line of what you can and cannot do when you're fostering a child. So my mom would just have to like, not to say lock him in a room. He was able to get out, but it's like contain him.
Yeah, that's hard.
Like she had to contain him in a sense, and that was really hard. And like me and my sister was young, maybe first, second grade, and so like we'd have to hide in my dad's office essentially. Not hide, but like be in there for like 2-3 hours at a time on weekends sometimes, and that was really hard. I mean, he's much better now. His tantrums are further between and way shorter than they are. There may be like 30 minutes of like arguing with my parents, and then he'll get sent to his room and he'll be fine within the hour. I like that's what they are now. I mean, sometimes they'll get a little worse, but
I know
that's usually what it is now.
I know working with kids in foster care and kids from broken households. I'm like a summer camp supervisor when I'm not at school, and you meet a lot of different kids from a lot of different really rough backgrounds, and they carry emotional scars and emotional baggage with them, and it completely affects like every aspect of their lives, and it's really difficult to work with them. It's really difficult to calm them down, and it's just I don't think the importance of family and just having a safety net to go back home to where you just know that you're loved unconditionally, that can't be overstated enough. Like the difference that it makes is just, it is night and day. So that's really amazing that your family has been able to have that type of an impact on your brother's life.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I love him like a brother. But yeah, no, it was really annoying over Christmas break. He was really annoying me, and like I wanted to smack him across the face a couple of times, and just because he's very contrarian, especially when it comes to like something I say.
Yeah.
So we got into a couple of arguments, and nothing too crazy though. So that's my brother, and then we'll go to, I'm gonna call her Susan just for our privacy. So we adopted Jonathan. It was a couple years, and we got someone. We were also told a bunch of false information about her and like how she was. And that was on the social worker's part. From when I was talking to my parents prepping for this, they're like, yeah, like all the families said the things that were true, and the social worker didn't say anything. Like gave us false information. And
Did you ever like? Is there a way to report that or talk to somebody about that? Or
I have no idea, and it's way past now. And I think she's adopted now.
Okay.
Like, so like she's doing much better now, but she was a lot. She was very violent, very very enraged person, and I won't get in too much about it. But the last incident we had with her was bad enough where that was the last day we saw her.
Oh wow.
Like and that was for safety reasons, not for me or my parents at all, but for my siblings. Like that's how bad it was. She was 2 years younger than my sister, or she was right in between my sister and brother, and it was bad. I won't get into too much detail, but it ended with, so since we're fostering them, like you can't touch them essentially, right. Like when they're enraged like that. So it's me, and she trapped my brother in our trampoline that we had. And so like my dad's like trying, like we can't do anything to her, but like my brother's trapped in a trampoline. So it's kind of a rock and a hard place, and it's like trying to get her attention and like have her anger pointed towards you, and so then like my brother could get out of the trampoline, and then started chasing me, my brother, and my sister, who sprained her ankle really bad at the time, and so she was on crutches.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad. We had to call the cops. Like not seriously. There's something called a PERT unit, and they're like a social worker essentially that'll ride around with an officer. And like we had to call them, and like it was a whole thing. And like my two siblings went to my grandparents' house when the officers got there, and even
That's
before
hard.
then, like my grandma was on the way, picked them up, and left. Like that was really bad. And my mom was asking me, it's like, how big of an effect did Susan have? And it was big, but like for me, it's like she was half my size at the time, and like she doesn't intimidate me that much. Like she could throw like a punch or a hit at me, and it would maybe leave a bruise. But then I feel like that would give me right to like not knock her out, but contain her myself. But that never happened. What my parents had me do is essentially like I can't touch her, so like I just essentially like wall up like I'm doing like a screen in basketball essentially, like just to give my siblings time.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
How have those experiences like affected your stance on really just life, but also just your relationship with God, and how you've grown into the man you become? Like how has that shaped you?
Life in general, I would say, it's hard because I'm a very plan for worst case scenario guy. I always carry a lot of stuff on me. Not that I always use all the stuff that I carry on me, but like I always carry a certain amount of items in case I need them. So that probably affected part of that. But it's like being a defender almost.
Yeah.
But faith-wise, that was at the time where it's like the lowest point of my faith. So I didn't not necessarily say that I didn't turn to God at that point, but like I really didn't turn to God. It's like, okay, like how do I just figure this out from a worldly point of view, kind of a deal. But I don't know. Thinking back on it, not to say that I wish it happened again, and I really wish I don't, because it was a real bad experience. But it's just saying, okay, like how can I use this in future ministry? It's like as a teacher, it's like, well, now being a teacher, it's like, okay, how can I use this experience to help someone in my future class is how I'm looking at it now.
That's great.
I mean, even just like sympathizing with people who have gone through foster programs, who have had difficult experiences with that. I feel like just being able to connect with them on a much more personal level now, having seen all that in your past, being able to relate with them, understand maybe more what they're feeling, where they're coming from. I mean, what a blessing in that sense. I mean, I know it was difficult at the time, but just looking back on it through, lenses, looking back on the past, it's just praise God for those experiences and for how it's made you grow into the man you are today.
Yeah. I agree, and I think everything that has happened to like me and my family, and like especially me, I feel like I have awful luck. So my nickname is Tommy 2 times, and it started off in high school, my freshman year, towards the end of our football season. I broke my arm in football practice, and we didn't know how far are we into the podcast.
Hour 15.
Okay, not awful. Not to say that an hour and 15 is short, but
We're good. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So I broke my arm freshman year during football practice, and I didn't know. Like, I was just complaining my arm hurt, and my parents always say it was like when they asked me to do chores, be like, "Oh, my arm hurts." It's not true. I mean, it probably is true because they're the parents and they remember more than I do. But in my mind, I'm right on that side of the debate. But so then after a month, I go, like, they finally like, okay, we're gonna take you in. Because like we were at one of our games and we're playing, it was a school called Army Navy up in Carlsbad, so about 40 minutes away. And I played in that game, and like my arm just hurt so bad. And I basically said I couldn't carry gear back to whatever van or whatever, and they're like, okay, we're taking you in if you can't even, like, if you choose not to carry gear. So they take me, and the doctor looks at it, and like we had one of my teammates' dads was a doctor, so like he looked at it and I said, "Oh, it's probably fine." And that was like probably 2 weeks into it. And then we go to the doctor, and the doctor like feels around and looks at it. He's like, "Oh, it's probably fine. It's nothing, but let's get an X-ray just in case." And we get a call later that evening from the doctor. He's like, "Yeah, it's broke." And what was even bad about it is, so like we go in and like we look at the X-ray, and it broke, grew, like tried to like grow back, and then broke again, and like 3 or 4 times. So the doctor's like, "We're glad we did this when we did. Otherwise, if you broke it, like if it started to grow and break like 1 or 2 more times, it would have never grown. Like it would have never been fixed."
Dude.
Just because it's like, okay, like, because the body's like, it's not working. So then, like, why put the resources towards it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get my arm healed in time for our last game of the season, thankfully. But I was a freshman I've never had any football experience before high school. So they didn't put me in, like, for safety reasons as well, just not to break my arm again after I'm fresh out of a cast that week.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And then baseball season comes along, and I slip in mud running back to my locker because I forgot something, and I break my wrist. Now, I broke my arm. I broke my right arm the first time, and then I broke my right wrist and thumb the second time. So I just say arm because it's easier. So that's how I got the nickname Tommy 2 times. But that's not the only thing that's happened twice. So I've put my foot through something once. I broke our trampoline. I mean, our trampoline was old. So I put my foot through the trampoline, and it broke. And then my dad just finished redoing the ceiling in our garage. And I was up in the attic, and I didn't know at the time that you weren't supposed to step on drywall.
Yep.
So I stepped on drywall, and my foot went through it.
That'll happen.
So there's that one. And then the most recent one is, so 3 years ago now, I think I had appendicitis, so I had an appendectomy, and that was the first one. And then my second time, I was just in the hospital over New Year's, December 31st, 10:30 p.m. for any of those who are interested. And
Where were you, December 31st, 10:30 p.m.?
I felt really bad because my parents were supposed to go to a block party for New Year's Eve, and like we were just at my cousin's house playing games and stuff, and I was feeling miserable. Like I didn't play any of the games. I laid on their couch essentially the whole time. And so my parents were like, okay, like I was showing signs of like a gallstone. So my mom was like, after our previous experiences, for instance, my appendix didn't burst, but like I was at school, and I was in the dorms essentially all day in pain for my appendicitis. So my parents learning from previous experiences, be like, okay, something's wrong. Let's take him in immediately instead of waiting a couple of hours or a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we go in, and I wasn't nauseous at the time, but like, and I'm not a nauseous guy in person, but they start drawing my blood in the ER, and then I vomit. I mean, that's the fastest way to get into the ER. For those of you wondering, is just vomit in the lobby of the ER. They'll take you in lickety split. I mean, thankfully it wasn't busy at the time.
I remember that for next time.
It wasn't busy at the time, thankfully, because it's New Year's Eve, so everyone's partying. So like you'll wait till like 1 a.m. for the ER to be busy with all the DUIs and
I'm sure.
with drunk drivers and stuff like that. So I mean, it wasn't busy. I was going to get in pretty quickly, and then I vomited and everything. But what happened was I had the scar tissue from my appendectomy got caught between my large and small intestines, so I couldn't poop. So they had to stick a tube down my nose to pump out my stomach to compress it, so then it would get loose. And so twice I have something to do with my appendix.
That was rough, man.
Dude, you really are unlucky with that type of stuff, man. That's tough.
Oh, yeah. Oh, an even better one is, so I was up visiting my girlfriend. She also goes to MLC, but she lives up in Orange County, so like an hour and a half away. And we were going to the Spectrum Center in Irvine, and we did an escape room, and we were driving to go get In-N-Out, which is better than Culver's, for lunch.
If you didn't hear it the first 10 times.
Get it for lunch, and I get a low tire pressure thing on my dash. I'm in my dad's car because my truck sucks gas like crazy. And so I actually get dash notifications when something's wrong with the car. And I'm like, okay, I pull over, I look at it. I have a screw in the back left tire of my dad's car.
Whoops.
And then I take it to a tire shop to get it patched. And then the guy looks at all 4 tires, and then I end up with a nail in my front left tire. And I'm like, well, there's my nickname living up to it. And then the tires were old. We're going to need to replace them soon. So we just bought a whole new set. But so that was fun.
Yeah. Wow. Talk about unlucky.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we are going to wrap up pretty soon here.
Okay, it's probably late.
Yeah.
What are we, like an hour 30, almost an hour 40?
Hour 20, hour 25 for sure.
Yeah, sorry. We dove pretty deep into why In-N-Out is better than Culver's.
No, it's okay. It is all over the place.
It is okay, and you will believe one day that In-N-Out is really better than Culver's.
It is just okay.
Yeah.
For now.
But we do want to ask probably one more question, just the signature question that we ask everyone. What's your prayer, devotional life look like? Willing to share anything that you do pretty consistently for that?
Yeah. I'm full transparency. My devotional and prayer life is awful right now. There's a lot of stuff that's happened in my life, and not growing up the strongest in my faith. I'm like in high school, but I was busy in high school. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't a tri-sport athlete, but I lettered in 3 sports. I was the manager for our varsity basketball team. Mm-hmm. So like if you look at pictures of our basketball team back over the past 2 years, I was dressed up in a suit because managers always wear suits, like in the NBA and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, I'll dress up in a suit. I mean, like people say suits are uncomfortable. I was comfortable in a suit. Like I didn't really care.
I love suits, man. I dress up in suits all the time.
Shut up, Cody. I've never even seen a suit.
No, but No, really, my devotional life is awful. And one of the many things I'm working towards this semester is like a devotional / prayer life, knowing that that's something I need to work on. I mean, like if I remember, I'll pray before meals, but that's about as far as my prayer life goes. But like church wise, like I try and go to church every Sunday, and like chapels I'll go to and all that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we appreciate the honesty. I mean, yeah, no one. I don't think anybody can say that their devotional life is perfect.
Yeah, many people.
And we're all kind of working on it still.
Yeah.
Nothing is perfect in this world except that In-N-Out is better than Culver's.
The
What
one
are you gonna
thing
say, Cody?
universally agreed upon. No. No, I was just going to say, I think many people probably listening in have, if they're honest with themselves, probably a pretty similar devotion prayer life to you. So I think they understand what you're saying, and I think it's just cool to have that sense of honesty, and just, I think that's great, man. Thanks for being willing to share that.
I think for me, when back when it was like that, more for me, I kind of realized that it wasn't going to happen all the time when I felt like it, and I just had to schedule it. Like you have to block out some time and just say, I'm gonna do it whether I feel like it or not. And over time, it becomes something that you look forward to. Even like most of the time, I look forward to it, but some days I don't, and because I'm really busy or something like that. But you gotta do it anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And like my devotional life is one of the many things, but I don't like to say I'm a very routine person, but I like a good routine from day to day. It, like not necessarily like school routine because that's forced upon us by MLC. And it's like I have 7:30s all Monday through Friday this week. It's kind of awful.
Rip.
Cody would hate that.
I know,
Yes,
you're
he
right,
would.
dude. I would, man.
The amount of times I've heard him diss on doing stuff in the morning,
Yep.
just while editing the podcast
Anything
is
before
a
9
lot.
a.m.
9:30. If you want the best version of me, do not talk to me until after 11, 12 o'clock. And even then, man, if I haven't had my workout yet, I'm still probably a little groggy. But
At least you know yourself, man. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, so devotional life is something I'm going to try and work in this semester. I don't know if I'll be able to do the morning. Like, I'm a morning person, but, like, waking up early to not, like, be forced out of my room to go to class is kind of the extent of how my morning will go.
Fair enough.
But it's, like, hopefully something in the evening would be nice. And then, like, I have a bunch of other, like, stuff that I need to, like, add to my daily routine of stuff just to do. So I'm going to try and work that in with it.
Yeah. Amen.
Awesome.
Well, we have some good news in that department. We have a lot of really exciting changes and new different types of ministry coming to Echoes of Sunday in the next couple months, including some daily devotional uploads for people who maybe do struggle with their devotion life. They'll get a chance to just be able to tune in for a couple minutes each day and to spend some time in God's Word and just grow in your faith. Just like we say here, just like the point of the podcast and the name of the podcast would suggest, Echoes of Sunday, growing in your faith all week long. And we're really just thankful, Thomas, to have you on board here as our editor.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, to everybody listening, just know that Thomas does just as much work, if not significantly more, for this podcast than even Logan and I do. And a lot of what we're doing right now, a lot of what we will be doing in the future, we never would have been able to do if it wasn't for Thomas. And we'll do another like Meet the Team episode here in a couple weeks, so you'll hear Thomas again. But just, yeah, we really do appreciate it, Thomas. Thank you for sharing a part of your life with us, for sharing some stories, and just thank you for sharing your time and your heart and your energy. You really do have a servant's heart, and we're thankful to have you on board.
Yeah, of course, but you can't boost my ego too much. You can't be like, oh, he does all this, so much more work than we do. I mean, it can be true, but it doesn't mean you have to say it out loud. I love working behind the scenes. That's why I love all the technology and like AV stuff is I love working behind the scenes.
Yeah,
And we appreciate that.
definitely, man. I think that is going to do it for us in this episode.
How long did we go? I'm just wondering.
I don't know, long enough, but it'll be fine. We're not the ones that have to edit it, so we're fine.
Just because I'm going to spend the next 4 hours of my life editing this doesn't mean...
Aw, dude. Hey, but thank you to everyone for listening. We appreciate it. We love you guys. It's good to talk with you guys again, to have you guys tuning in for another semester of episodes here. We're looking forward to it. Blessings,
Yes, sir.
everyone.